Hello, hello, hello. I think I'm going to. Oh, do I have it? Hi. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. I'm trying to see what I did with my mic. And if I want to use my mic. I don't think I have my old phone. Or do I don't know. Hey, y'all, hey. I don't know if I have my mic. I don't know where it is. I'm upset about that. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm excited. Y'all, I have great news and other things, but I'm really excited because listen, I'm going to tell you why settling is going to cost you in 2025 today. So that's what I'm talking about today, okay? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect, and as you see via the pinned comment, I support women who are high achieving, who are driven. These women are the type of women who get massive results for everyone else, maybe for their companies, for their families, for their corporations. But they are very tired. They're very exhausted. They're everything for everyone, which leaves a lot of nothing for themselves. And so I support my amazing clients in actually shifting that by aligning with their natural rhythms so that they can turn their innate magnetism into a wealth attracting force. And if this is your first time joining me, I need to tell you that money is not wealth. A lot of people tend to think that money is wealth. One aspect of wealth is financial resources, but wealth actually consists of 5 key pillars. And once I explain that to people, they have to start thinking about, hey, am I actually building generational wealth? So this is how you know if you're actually building generational wealth. Generational wealth looks like financial resources. Generational wealth looks like emotional fulfillment. Generational wealth looks like healthy relationships. Generational wealth looks like time freedom. And generational wealth looks like growth and purpose. So when you make a comment or you're saying that you are building generational wealth, that means that you are pouring into all of those aspects. That's what you're saying. Hey, lovey, and thank you for these likes and for those who are coming in and joining. So when you're saying you're building generational wealth, that's what that is. That means that you're shifting your legacy, because your legacy has to be shifted by financial resources, emotional fulfillment, understanding that there is things that need to be attained outside of getting financial resources, being able to monopolize on your own time, meaning that you don't have to check in with someone when you want to go and take care of your family. This looks like, I say time freedom, this looks like growth and purpose, that you are doing, you know, things that are fueling you spiritually and fueling you mentally and taking you to the next level, as well as healthy relationships. I always say healthy relationships build wealth, and toxic relationships are bad for your health. That's literally science. That's science and psychology right there. Hey, I absolutely love your content. The VIP group is amazing. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. Yes, the Sacred Feminine League is an amazing community. I hope you were able to watch the most recent video where we talked about the spirit of narcissism when it comes down to men and the connection between that and warlocks and witchcraft, and how I broke all of that down, and how you don't allow yourself to be, how can I say this, so you won't be tricked. Okay, so I pretty much gave out the game on how to not be tricked and be able to really recognize these things. So it's a very, very powerful session. Yay, I'm glad that you got to watch it. Okay, so today, though, let me go ahead and get into it because it's going to be fire, y'all. Because let me tell y'all something. And I told y'all this in 2024, and I told y'all this was going to happen in 2024, but I told you this in 2023. I told y'all it was going to be a great divide happening amongst women. There is the women who are in a space of mediocrity, and those women are barely hanging on by a thread. These women may have achieved amazing things and done things, but she still doesn't feel like she is where she needs to be. And then there's also going to be a set of women who are in a space of mastery where it just seems like they're blooming, they're blossoming, and like everything is happening for them. And a lot of women have been asking, like, I know you said this was going to happen in 2020. You said this was going to happen in 2024. It is happening. Why is this happening? What is the great divide? What does this look like? I'm going to break down to you the difference between these women so you can see where you at. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you are the woman who is actually settling in your life currently, and if you don't shift that and start making some serious decisions before by December 31st, 2024, you're gonna get locked in a cycle that you're gonna have a hard time getting out of. And so this live is going to be for the amazing women who are prepared to come out of this cycle, the women who are seeking mastery, who are really tired of mediocrity, because the women who are in a space of mediocrity are truly suffering, like suffering on a massive level. And this is not just, oh, I'm suffering financially. I'm not even talking about that. These women have gone to school, they've done all these things, but they are truly, truly struggling. And I'm going to tell you something specifically, and I'm going to do a video on this. And when I do the video on this, it's really going to make sense. But I'm going to have the conversation with millennial women and how a lot of them are stuck in a state of arrested development / Peter Pan syndrome. Because a lot of millennial women do not want to grow up. And I understand why you don't want to grow up. And I say this to you as a millennial. However, if you don't start making some real decisions, you're going to have some real problems in 2024. Okay? You got some real problems in 2024. A lot of millennial women are really settling for lives that are truly beneath them because they believe that they are extremely exhausted. And I can understand why you feel this way. Okay? So go ahead and send this live. You know a millennial woman who's in a state like she does everything right, she did everything right, she feels like she did this, but she's in a state of like stress. Go ahead and send her this live. Send this to every single woman that you know that has done basically everything right and she's exhausted because she feels like she's not got any results. I'm gonna help her today. Okay. Thank you, Renata. Renata been with me for a long time, so she knows. I've been telling y'all for like years. The stuff I said in 2022 happened in 2023. The stuff I told y'all was gonna happen in 2024 has really been happening in 2024. And I'm telling you, in 2025, y'all better wake the hell up. I'm so for real. I'm so for real. Please wake up. It's really not a joke. It's not a game. So what I'm going to be breaking down is I'm going to be breaking down the two elements of these women. The women who are in a space of mediocrity, some of the behaviors, that exactly some of the behaviors, some of the problems, some of the consequences, and what the solution can look like. And then also I'm going to talk about the women who are in a state of mastery and how these women are able to get these things. So you're going to figure out what space you're in, and you're going to be able to make a decision. Because if this is your first time joining me, one thing you'll always hear me say is life is chess. And the most powerful piece on the chessboard is the queen. So if you understand that life is chess, if you understand that you're the most important piece on the board, or the most powerful piece on the board, then you understand that all you have to do is move with intention, strategy. Okay? That's it. All your moves need to carry intention and strategy. Okay? And it all leads back to something. Whatever the vision is. So when you begin to understand that, you begin to learn how to maneuver as a woman in this world, and you stop acting like a pawn. Because a lot of women act beneath themselves because they don't really understand their value and they don't understand their identity. So let's have this quick conversation real quick before I get into why settling will cost you everything in 2025. Let's have this conversation about millennial women really quick and the issue we are having with Peter Pan syndrome and growing up. Thank you, my love, for these likes and gifts. And I say this, but I haven't gone into true detail of this. Of course, we as millennials, we feel very gypped. Okay? Millennial women feel extremely gypped. The reason why millennial women feel extremely gypped is because they feel like they have been pivoting their entire life. And I say this as a millennial woman, right? We have pivoted our entire lives. We are the last generation that played outside at school, okay? We are the generation where CDs came in. We watched music transition from tapes to CDs to now it's streaming. So we've seen all these massive pivots happen in our life. We've seen all these things happen. We literally feel gypped because from our lens, of watching adulthood through being a child of the 90s, adulthood looked so amazing. It looked so fun. It looked so vibrant. It looked so fly. It looked like it was going to be the best thing going to be an adult. We could not wait to grow up. That was the biggest thing. Millennial women, girls, a lot of them couldn't wait to grow up because being a grown up looks so amazing. But as we begin to go through life, okay, and we went to college like they told us to, we got degrees like they told us to, and a lot of us entered into a space in the world where the world was going down in flames. We graduated right into a recession. So meanwhile, we watched our parents get houses. We watched, them reap the benefits of a whole bunch of different things. And meanwhile, we're sitting here like we can't even get what you said that we could get if we followed your rules. This has happened for millennials in the church. This has happened for millennials in college. This has happened for millennials in general. We just feel very gypped, and we feel as if we did not, the reality of adulthood has really crippled a lot of us because we were not prepared really for adulthood. And so what is happening is that a lot of millennials are stuck in a space of wanting to escape. So we're escaping in things that we used to do during childhood. We're escaping doing things because we don't want to deal with reality. We're escaping things because we believe we're extremely exhausted because we've done everything that everyone has told us to do, and none of it has seemed to work out in our favor. We went and got the degrees, we went to church like y'all told us to, we did this, we did that, and we don't feel like we see the fruit of our labor. Actually, we don't really feel like we get to enjoy that. That's what a lot of millennial women really feel like. We feel gypped. And because of that, a lot of us want to abandon responsibilities and we ignore the call to become greater because we feel extremely exhausted. We feel extremely tired. We mourn what we thought adulthood was actually going to be for us. And because of that, the downside of that is that we sit and we procrastinate and we do nothing because we're so tired and we don't really at this point know what to do, that we do absolutely nothing. So though the millennial generation is the most educated generation, we are the most skeptical. We are the ones who need the most mindset work to reverse the brainwashing that we have been given all of our lives. We have misconstrued views on love and marriage. We have misconstrued views on relationships. We have misconstrued views on how we can make money. And because of all of these things, and because belief impacts biology and biology influences the way that you behave, we do nothing. But we do nothing not realizing that we are the elders now. I'll be 41 on Sunday. I'm sorry. The one thing as millennials that we did not grasp with everything that we saw is that we did not develop, a lot of us did not develop the power of pivoting. We have experienced a bunch of pivots in our lives, but we have not learned that we need to pivot. Because if you don't pivot, you're going to be put down. And let me explain what I mean by that. The millennial generation also has a big issue because a lot of us have developed this elitist attitude, especially those of us who have gone to college. Okay? I'm not talking about Gen X, I'm talking about us. See, when you go into your 40s, you are now an elder. Despite whether or not you want to acknowledge that or not, you are an elder. I'm cool with coming into that phase. I love that for me. So I want us to be okay with where the direction that we're going into. Boomers and Gen X, I ain't even addressing them. I'm talking about us. Because the boomers and Gen X understand their responsibilities. They know that aspect of it. It's us that struggle to come into taking responsibility for certain things and owning these things. Okay, so no, I'm 53, 41 is young. I mean, I'm still an elder in this space. I'm still an elder in this space. The wisdom that I have definitely positions me for that as well. So I'm okay with being and 40. I'm still young. I'm young enough to play, but old enough to know better, if that makes sense. So that's how I like to qualify myself. I'm young enough to play, but old enough to know better, to know what it is that I need to be doing. And sometimes for us as millennial women, we are really stuck in this phase and we've developed this elitist attitude and we feel like, you know, we're too good to do certain things and we don't want to do certain things, okay? Or we feel as if because we've gotten our degrees, we shouldn't have to do whatever. All those old systems are crumbling. All those old ideologies are crumbling. Y'all, they are closing down a lot of these universities and these colleges. They're closing down these hospitals. The way you see education, the way you see life is about to shift and change. We are in the midst of another pivot. And my fear for a lot of millennial women is that you're going to wait until it's too late and it's going to cost you everything in 2025. Because I think a lot of women this year have been saying, oh, I'm so exhausted, I'm so tired. But these are the women who are in a space of mediocrity. They don't understand why they're really tired. You're not really tired because of the things that you're doing. You're tired because you have the belief that you have to do all of these things. And you have not reprogrammed your mind to understand that that is really not the current reality. A lot of these degrees are very much so worthless. What are you going to do? People with degrees are going to be working in factories. You have to understand that if you don't pivot, and if you don't get your mind right, if you don't pivot from the programming that's taught you that this is the way you go about doing things. Yes, they lied to us. Yes, those things didn't work. What are you going to do now? You have to make some real decisions because the things that you have been doing are no longer going to work for you. They're no longer going to work in these new systems. In a minute, that paper, dollar, even that you got in your pockets, the ones y'all trying to hide, it's not going to mean anything. Where everything is going into a digital system. Are you not? You have to get in a space and you really have to start paying attention. You have to start paying attention. I agree. But the amount of mindset work that it's going to take on millennials to get them out of that is going to take a while. And if you haven't already started, it's going to be really hard to ground yourself in 2025 when things come out swinging even faster. So we have to consider these things. But let's go ahead and talk about the difference between these two types of women. And I want you to figure out which woman you are and decide if you're going to continue to settle. And if I'm telling you, if you continue to keep settling going into 2025, it's going to cost you everything. And I'm not even talking about money. It's going to cost you your sanity. It's going to cost you your mind. It's going to cost you a whole lot because you're not understanding yourself and how to move and how to protect yourself and how to stay grounded and how to do things without having to submit to systems that make you slaves. Okay? So, like I said, this is the live where I'm talking about why settling will cost you everything in 2025. So, let's talk about the first aspect of the women who are in a state of mediocrity. Women who are in a state of mediocrity are women who live in survival mode. Okay? And so women who live in survival mode, I'm going to tell you 4 things that they specifically do. And they don't just do these things in one key area. They do these things in several key areas. Hi, my love. They do these key things in life. They do these key things in relationships. They do these key things in work. They do these key things in business as well. So I'm going to break those things down. So these women also suffer from burnout because they do these things. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1. The women who are stuck in a space of mediocrity, who live on the plane of survival mode, are women who overwork without getting results. That's the first thing. I will give an example of how people do this in relationships first. This is a person who continues to do, hoping that someone is going to turn around and do for them, when in reality, they're doing it out of a space of a wound, really. So they continue to chase this experience and do this and serve and hope that the person is going to look at them one day and actually see them as a valuable person. But when in reality, they're not going to see you as valuable. If someone, and I'm going to say this, when you go to the mall, for those who used to go to the mall, because I don't really go to the mall anymore, but for those who used to go to the mall, they would always have a man out there with chicken at one of those Asian restaurants. And he always offered, here, have some, sample, try some, right? Y'all didn't value him because you knew he was always going to be there passing out that chicken. How much value was it for him to be able to pass out that chicken? That's really not no value. That's why it's easy for him to just give it to you, which is why you don't appreciate it. So as you're continuing to give and overwork without getting any results, you are doing nothing but exhausting yourself out. And people do this in relationships. People do this in business. You are working 10-hour days. You're working at work 10 hours and you're sacrificing your personal life and you still feel stuck. You're doing all that work and you're not even advancing. You're not even advancing. So that's the first thing. The women who are in a state of survival mode, women who are in a state of, the struggle aspect of life, it's because you continue to, in all areas of your life, your relationships, your work, you continue to overwork even though you still don't get no results. Let's talk about this from a space of working out. I used to be almost 100 pounds heavier. Why are you continuing to do a workout that really does not align with your body chemistry? See, this is the point. This is why you should understand and be extremely self-aware. You're trying to do something that you saw on TikTok. You're trying to do something that you saw on TV. You're trying to do something that your friends said for you to do, but it does not align with you energetically. It does not align with your cycles. It does not align with who you are, which is why it is not working. I talked about the other day, when people hit wealth plateaus and when people hit weight plateaus, it's a misalignment of energy. And when you understand there's a misalignment of energy, you can correct that. Let me tell you how you're going to thrive on this earth. Understanding spiritual law and understanding energetics, understanding energy and how it works. If you understand spiritual law and you understand energetics, you can create the reality you want because you know how to manipulate energy into your favor. Not in any form of deceptive way or anything. Be very clear. Every person is a manipulator. I'm clapping my hands, this is me manipulating energy. Okay? When we're speaking about deceptive manipulation, that requires a level of intent, dark intent. Okay? There is such a thing as deceptive manipulation, but everyone is a manipulator. You manipulate energy. That is what you do. So when you understand spiritual law, when you understand the science of yourself and energetics and physics and how these things work, then you can manipulate energy to create the reality that you desire for yourself. That is how you shift your mind. That is how you change your life. This is why it tells you in scripture, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you think about yourself in your subconscious mind sends out a vibrational tone to your heart, which sends out a signal, which attracts. And what you entertain confirms the story that is in your heart. So a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. When you understand spiritual law, and you understand the science of energetics, you will understand why you keep magnetizing things to your life, why you keep manifesting certain things into your life. One of my modalities in my skill sets is that I'm an energetic psychology practitioner. Okay, so what that looks like is I study energetics and emotions on a cellular level. I can tell you if you hold on to long-term resentment, it's going to ruin your liver and it can make you go blind. What you have to understand about society is they will tell you half-truths. You know how you already knew that? See, you're going to say in the comments, or you're probably going to be shocked, like, oh my God, you can go blind from like long-term anger. But you already knew that. You know how you knew that? But society didn't tell you the truth and give you the full explanation. You ever heard the term blind rage? I just want you to think about it. Have you ever heard of the term blind rage? Because your anger can impact your liver so much to where it cannot send the nourishing blood necessary that needs to flow to your eyes. Okay? And because of that, you can no longer see. So you can't see literally and you can't see figuratively because you can't see past your anger, blind rage. See, society will tell you half-truths. If you do not do any seeking or searching for yourself, they will continue to lie to you. They will put it in front of you as if it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a game. The world is made up of energy. Your body runs off two forms of energy specifically, chemical energy and emotional energy. Emotions is energy in motion by definition. So when you have certain type of energy in motion flowing through your body, it is going to either uplift and support your organs or it's going to attack your organs. Your heart does not attack you. Your heart defends itself. Why would the creator of all things put a vessel, a muscle within you that would attack you? That makes absolutely no sense. The heart defends itself. And do you understand that the heart has several layers of boundaries around it before it suffers a form of attack? So that means it had to go through layers to get to that point. The heart defends itself. You're not having an anxiety attack. Your body is defending itself and attacking what has come, the energy that has come into your body and made you to the point to where you can't control yourself emotionally. You can't control yourself physically. This is your body fighting these things off. The body does not attack you. It does not make any sense. The body only defends. That is what it was created. It defends. This is why you have nose hair. It traps anything from being able to come into this area, because guess what? This is the right side of your brain, right side of your nose, okay? The left side of my brain controls that, okay? So there's so many intricate things about the body. God is truly a masterful architect. We have no idea. Our body has thousands upon thousands upon thousands of functions. The liver alone has over 300 functions within the body. So when you get angry and you hold on to chronic anger, why? Like it tells you not to do in scripture. It tells you not to give anger a foothold. But it tells you not to give anger a foothold because anger ruins your body. It cripples you. It makes you sick long term. It tells you not to worry because worry weakens your immune defenses. The body can't fight what you invite in. Be careful what you invite into your space. Be careful what you do to yourself. So the women who are in a space of mediocrity, they're overworking and they get no results. They keep doing things for men who don't care about them. They keep trying to make themselves appear and prove their worth and their value at jobs that don't care about them. They try to do all these things hoping that they're going to get something when they get nothing but a bag of burnout. That's what they get. That's what they get. Burnout not only blocks your energy, but it blocks your creativity. It blocks your ability to create. It keeps you from making real progress. And I've told you, as we've pivoted into this new era, let me tell you who is going to win. And I am excellent at pattern recognition. So check my track record. My clients have come to me and have gone from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to multi-6 figures. And I have built a 6-figure business from the ground up myself without hustling. So what I am telling you when it comes down to your creativity, it matters. It's vital. The World Economic Forum stated that human creativity is an irreplaceable asset. That's why they feed y'all hot chips. That's why they feed y'all GMOs, because they understand that it's going to disrupt the way your brain operates. That's why they do these things. They do these things because it's going to throw you off balance. And when you're off balance, you can't create. And if you can't create, you have to depend on something else that's created to help you fund what it is, your bills. See, all of these things are by design and by program. It's not a coincidence that certain food look like certain organs. It's not a coincidence that carrots, when you cut it, look like your eyes. Because carrots have beta carotene in it that goes straight to your liver. That what? The liver supplies nourishing blood to your eyes. See, these are things that they won't necessarily come out and tell you. They'll just allow you to overwork yourself into oblivion. So the type of women who are sitting in that space, they're overworking with no results. Let me tell you another thing that these type of women are doing who are in a space of mediocrity. Okay? Honestly, I'm burnt in all these areas that you speak of in my gifts that you're sitting dormant. Well, we about to get into it so they don't sit in dormant no more, baby. Because they're going to have to come on out. Yes, the future, let me tell you who the future belongs to. That's what I was supposed to tell y'all. The future belongs to the creatives. No, the future belongs to, thank you, my love, for these gifts. The future is for the observers, the creatives, and the innovators. That's going to be your money makers. That's going to be who on top. That's who's going to be on top within the next 20 years. Your creatives, your observers, and your innovators. Because I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this to you. Do you not realize that we are society's biggest experiment? Do you understand what they do? Let me break down the process for you, because like I said, pattern recognition is one of my amazing gifts. I say my greatest gift is that I see patterns. My worst gift is that I see patterns. So I can see something coming a mile away. Praise God. So when we're talking about us being a large experiment, society will do things, put things in the media, put things out there on social media, and what are we going to do in response, right? We're going to respond to things. We're going to get emotional. We're going to make posts about it. We're going to make statuses about it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And what are they going to do? So they've created something. Now they're going to observe how we behave. They're going to observe how you respond to the stimuli that we've added. Okay, so did y'all know at one point they was putting Coke at Coca-Cola years ago when it first came out? And do y'all know that they was flashing people with brainwashing people in movie theaters by flashing Coke in the middle of like a movie so they get the flash in your mind so they would get up and go buy some? You understand what I'm saying? See, they will create things and watch you by observing you, your behavior and your response. And then they will invent things to help you deal with that response to the stimuli that they created. And if you don't believe me, let's do one that's recent. Another pattern that I recognize. I think it's very interesting that we're doing a lot of talk about gut health. I think it's very interesting that we're doing there are a lot of solutions and different things that they are trying to ram down your throat to buy when it comes down to your gut health. But they're not going to address the fact that they gave you processed food, knowing doggone well with fillers, understanding that these fillers were going to get into your stomach. And because all food carries a program. See, this is what they know and they don't tell you. All food carries a program. Just like I told you about those carrots, they're going to program that liver, and that liver is going to follow the program to send that blood to your eyes. Yeah. So when you eat processed food, what happens is the body doesn't recognize the program. So the body is saying, I can't put that here. That's not nutrients for here. I can't put that here. It doesn't go here. Is there any water in it? Maybe I can drain the water out and then we can put this here. So what happens is I don't know where to put this. So what does it do? Because the body is such an intelligent instrument that the Most High has created. The body stores it in your stomach, baby. The body puts it in your stomach. Put it right there in your gut. But see, once it sits in the gut, because it's not something that's supposed to be there, it begins to create holes in your gut. It begins to create issues for you going to the restroom. And you begin to, and let's not add the stress on top of what's happening in life with the fear-mongering programming that they're putting out there for you. So on top of putting that, so you're stressed. And then when you get stressed for a chronic period of time, it starts to impact your spleen. And guess what happens? When it starts to impact your spleen can't do its job with the stomach. And when your spleen can't do its job with the stomach, you start having stomach issues for months. And you finally decide that you want to go to the doctor, right? And what do they tell you? You got IBS. That's what they say. Which really IBS is nothing but them letting you know that you have a cluster of symptoms that a whole bunch of people have come in about. And this is what we've classified it as. Because so many people have come in with this. But you know why so many people have come in with this? You know why so many people are diagnosed with IBS and generalized anxiety? Because it's the stress that makes you sick. Let's start there. It's the stress that makes you sick. It's the stress and the inability to be able to manage your emotions that causes you to emotionally eat. It's the high-paced jobs that they tell you have to work that makes you scarf your food down so you're picking up process. See, I was a social worker before I was a feminine mastery architect. I used to be over 100 pounds heavy, and I do understand what it's like to eat your lunch in the car and have to eat it extremely fast, eating it on the go, eating processed food, being sick. I know what it's like to walk in the doctor's office and they tell you at 20 you have polycystic ovarian syndrome in 2004 when nobody was talking about it. I also know what it's like to walk back into the doctor's office reversing all of the symptoms that they told me that I had. And my period coming back consistently after not taking the medication and things that they wanted me to stay on. So when I'm telling you I'm not new to this, I'm very true to this. They want you to be in a space where you are overworking with no results. They want you to be in a space where you are hustling for validation. See, this is how you got into the corporate trap, the corporate spell. Corporate, when it talks about in scripture that you should not be conform to this world, but transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. What that's speaking of is speaking of the world is the word cosmos in Greece and Greek. And when you break down that word is speaking of people and systems. And because a lot of us were taught, you don't hang with this and you don't do this, it's bigger than you just hanging with a person and you being corrupted by that person's intent. It's bigger than that. When you make a decision to submit to world systems, these systems are spiritually they're strategically set up to disconnect you from your spiritual core. And I will tell you how the corporate system has done this to you as an example. Because like I said, my greatest gift is that I see patterns. My worst gift is that I see patterns. So the corporate system puts you under a spell by disconnecting you from your spiritual core to make you hustle for validation. And this is how they do it. Number one, it tells you in scripture that you get called and then you get qualified. The societal system says that you have to be qualified before I call you. That's number one. So they're already letting you know that you're not good enough. You have to meet our qualifications in order to be good enough to be in our system, to be a part of our company, to be a part of our team, to be a part of our organization. You have to be qualified, right? So then you do all these things to prove yourself that you are qualified, right? And then you put yourself in position to compete with other people when it tells you in scripture, Proverbs 8 and 12 specifically, that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. So instead of you relying and trusting on your own gifts that Proverbs also said will make room for you, you believe that you have to compete with people for a position that won't even pay you well. So let's go. So now that you're in the competition pool, okay, you're disconnected from your spiritual core already, but let's just turn it up, okay, because they keep it going. So now that you're competing in the pool, okay, amongst people, and let's just say they decide to choose you, right? See, now you feel like you need to be picked. Y'all wonder where that pick me syndrome came from? Society set y'all up with that. But on team, they started this in so many different ways, but they really do it with the corporate system. So now they have to pick you. You have to wait to be chosen. And you being chosen makes you feel so much because, you don't choose yourself. So when somebody else chooses you, it feels like power. It feels like elevation. It feels like this. But you don't realize the fact that you actually got to this earth actually means that you were chosen. You know how many people were created but didn't come to fruition? And you actually got here. You actually been chosen. You've been chosen. You just never chose yourself. You're waiting on other people to choose you. So now we're in this system, and let's say that they've chose you. Okay? They choose you, and then you go in, and they have you sell yourself for a cheap salary, okay? And because you don't understand your value after being beat up through this entire process of having to prove yourself, having to compete, and now just, finally being chosen. See, all that has put you under a spell. So now you're coming into space. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be in this room. I'll accept whatever you give me. And guess what you don't do? You don't negotiate your salary. So you leave $50,000 on the table. Because a lot of times the companies are paying about 3 times for what they're actually paying you. It's way more money in the bank. But because you've already been broken down by this system that you've submitted to, and you've come into this space and they said, here's what we're going to pay you. And because you're just so happy to be chosen, you will accept anything. And so because you accept anything, this lets them know that you will accept any form of treatment, which is why they treat you the way they do as soon as you get there. And they cause you to perform and do all these things for approval so that you can get promoted. And when you don't get promoted, you got the nerve to be mad. But you didn't read your soul contract. You didn't read it. Oh, you didn't realize you signed a soul contract? Let's talk about soul contracts. I talk about this in my course, Speak, Write, Teach, creating value that gets you paid, where I teach you how to articulate your value and speak on these things so you can actually get the money you're supposed to get. I talk real heavy about the corporate curse and the corporate spell that you get put under. I break down on how you can come out of there too, okay? So once you finally got in that space and you proved yourself and you want to be mad now because they never promoted you, the first thing you want to do is, I want to go start a business. Okay, go girl. So now you want to go start a business, and you step out here and you start a business and you start lowballing yourself because you're charging so cheap. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these comments. They're coming so fast I can't catch them. But now you're charging cheap. Oh, I'm just starting out, so I'm just gonna charge this. That's because you're still under the corporate spell. See, a lot of y'all leave corporate and still be under the corporate spell, and that's why y'all business don't work. That's because your business don't work because you don't understand. I'm telling you, you don't understand. So now you overworking your business and you hustling for validation. You didn't left one slave contract to another one. So let's talk about the soul contracts. 'Cause I forgot to give y'all that game. A soul consists of your mindset, your heart set, and your willpower. Okay? That's what it consists of. So when you sign on that contract to work for that company, what you were stating is that I am okay with you taxing on my soul in order to meet your goals, as long as you're going to give me something. Did you hear what I said? I am okay for this time period. See, a lot of y'all don't even come in with a time period for these folks to tax on your soul. You're going to give them 30 years tax, 40 years tax on you, on your head. You come in signing because you just so happy to be chosen. You're signing and agreeing for them to tax on your soul in order to meet their goals. And then you complain and say that you don't have time to work on what it is that you're supposed to be working on. That's because you've allowed that soul contract to outweigh what it is that you're actually supposed to be doing. So now you are here hustling for validation. You hustling for somebody to see you. See, that's why y'all get mad at people, your friends and your family, for not supporting your black business. I see y'all be getting mad at your friends and family for not supporting your business because you're hustling for validation. See, that's why your business ain't growing. You in a state of mediocrity because you are hustling for validation. You ain't even trying to help nobody. You doing all this work to prove that you can. Like, it's giving a minstrel show. What are you doing? What are you doing for real? This is why you are in a state of mediocrity, because you are here hustling the validation. You saying yes to everything because you're afraid that you're going to look like you missed out on something, or you're going to look uncommitted. But you really out here looking crazy because you're not getting what it is that you truly desire and what it is that you really want. You end up depleted and out of alignment with what it is that you're supposed to be doing because you're hustling and chasing validation. You're chasing approval for people who don't even like you. See, a lot of folks y'all be around don't even like y'all. Y'all don't even realize it, and they show you subtly. But because you lack self-awareness, you can't tell distinguish the difference between the people in your life who are part of your destiny and the people in your life who are sent to be a distraction. Baby, it's only two type of people coming into your life experience, beloved. Two. Do you know who's in your tribe? Do you know? Do you know who the distractors are? Can you distinguish the distractions from those who are on the path of destiny with you? You should. But no, you can't, because you're hustling for validation. You're looking for them to clap for you. You need them to tell you they look good. You look good in the dress. You need them to validate your intuition. Girl, you think I'm crazy because I feel like this? Because, you felt that. Why do you don't need, see, y'all be wanting to ask questions to things you don't need to ask. No, you don't need to ask. You already know. You never have to ask a woman if she messing with your man. See, y'all be out of pocket. You never have to ask someone if you look fat in a dress. See, these are things that you automatically already feel about you, that you are about to expose to someone else and involve them because you want confirmation for what you already feel, that you know is true. You're looking and hustling for validation. You do it in life, you do it in business, you do it in relationships. You didn't see what I did? You didn't appreciate what I did? You're looking for claps. You ain't doing it from the depths of your heart, which is why you're not getting the desires of your heart. Ding, ding, ding. Intent is everything, beloved. It's everything when you are trying to execute something. Okay? Here's the third sign of a woman who is in a state of mediocrity because she's stuck in survival mode. Hey, my love. Shalom. And this woman right here is she really in trouble. And it's a lot of women doing this. And I'm very concerned about y'all going into 2025 because, like I said, settling for this life is going to cost you everything in 2025, y'all. I can't even break down the things that I see and I've seen in certain visions because it brings me to, but I am pleading with you. If you know you're supposed to be doing what you need to do, get in alignment to do that. Because stop settling for a life less than. I'm so serious when I say that. This woman right here is seriously in danger. And it is the woman who ignores the signs of exhaustion. It's a lot of y'all ignoring the fact that y'all are extremely exhausted. Okay? And you're in a dangerous space. They are closing hospitals. They are denying people of surgeries that they normally have been giving people surgeries on. They are, in certain states, they have denied if the doctor goes past the time of them giving you anesthesia. Okay? Let me tell you, they say they're not going to pay for this stuff. If you don't take responsibility and accountability for your health, for your wealth, and for your well-being, and you don't start now, and you keep depending on these systems, you are going to find yourself in a stagnant state of slavery. They don't care about you. A society that would sell you a problem, then turn around and serve you a solution, try to sell you it, would serve you a problem, sell you a solution, and try to get you to submit to a system that keeps you in a sick cycle. In order for them to be paid, you need to be paying attention. See, it's a lot of my sisters out here with womb issues. They not finna pay for them things no more. A woman just was on TikTok saying she got denied. I'm tell y'all something. You need to take responsibility for yourself. Millennial women who are struggling in a state of arrested development, who do not want to grow up, you don't have time for this anymore. See, what we have learned as millennial women is the power of pivot. We have seen so many pivots happen in our reality. In my 41 years of living, baby, I done seen a whole lot. This world changed a whole lot. What you need to grasp as a millennial woman is that you need to pick up the power of pivot. You need to pivot the programming that you've been running on. All that crap you've been doing is no longer going to work in this new system. And you are going to be a sick slave if you don't position yourself well and you don't put yourself back in power. If you are supposed to be working with me, you need to get in alignment and get in line. Because the women who have been working with me for the last few years, those women are thriving. Those women are prepared. We are ready for 2025. See, we understand it's a spiritual year of 9. We understand that scripturally the year 9 means completion. It means judgment. It means finality. There are some things that are coming to the light. And what you have been doing, beloved, is coming to the light. You better be careful the cycles that you got yourself in. And you better get yourself out. You better get yourself out. It's not a joke and it's not a game. You can sit in a state of mediocrity if you want to. But let me tell you what happens when you sit on survival mode. You become a project. You become a project of society when you allow yourself to be in a state of survival mode. You become a project, which means you get experimented on. You get experimented on. Because you don't have the money to go do XYZ, so you have to go to this specific place. And they ain't really doing everything right in there. They doing just enough, but they ain't really doing what they need to do in there for you. Because you're a project to them. This is exactly how they've been able to go into the projects when the projects was a thing and use all these chemicals and different things in there and experiment on those families and on those children. Because you are a project. You can't afford to live. You can't afford to thrive. You need me to thrive. I'm going to experiment on you. You're my project. See, a lot of y'all don't understand you're a project, baby. And the more you continue to live beneath who you truly are, you will continue to be experimented on. Breaking out of the matrix means that you are simply making a decision to revert to a different program, baby. Y'all been submitting to programming that doesn't work anymore. And this is why, like I said, millennial women are in a state of arrested development. I get it. I'm a millennial. I do feel gypped. I understand why we feel gypped. Yes, they told us to go to school. Yes, they told us to do this. Yes, they told us all these things were going to work for us. Yes, they lied. They lied. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these lights. They lied to us. They bamboozled us. They tricked us. So what are you going to do now? Be emotional about it? That's what they want. Don't you see how they use fear-mongering programming and tactics to make you anxious? Don't you see how they've taken mental illness, which is a real thing that has a real root, and turned around and monopolized on the mental health industry to make you feel like you are just... Society made you anxious. Society makes you anxious on purpose. Because if you're anxious, then you can submit to this system because you need a solution. When it tells you spiritually not to be anxious, and it tells you that for a reason so you don't get sick. Because anxiousness, when it sits for a while, it ruins your spleen. And that's why you got IBS. And that's why they tell you, oh, you got to reduce the stress. But what they're not dealing with the fact is that you actually lack emotional control. So when you get stressed, you stuff sugar down your throat because you want to soothe the pain, because you were not taught emotional regulation skills. So they count on you being sick. They count on you being stressed because you make an easy slave. You make an easy submissive. That's what it is. That's what it is. And women are sitting around ignoring the signs that they are completely exhausted and they are drained. You just sitting around and you complaining about it and you're not doing nothing. And I understand. Like I said, I understand millennial women, we are exhausted. But you need to learn how to pick up the power of pivoting. You have seen it your entire life. And you are going to wait until you usher yourself into a state of sickness that these people won't even pay for. Society will make you sick, sell you a freaking problem, serve you a problem, sell you a solution, and then tell you you need to pay this to get this surgery, and then turn around and deny you from getting the surgery after they made you sick. When you gonna wake up? When are you gonna wake up? When are you gonna stop saying yes to things that you know you need to say no to? When are you gonna stop acting like you don't feel that throb and that pain in your body? When you gonna stop saying being everything for everyone and leaving nothing for yourself? When are you going to stop? They tricked you with black girl magic. I put that in my book too. Oh yeah, my book is available, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm gonna talk about that later though. But I put that in my book that's on Amazon. How they tricked y'all with the black girl magic movement. They tricked you into overworking and doing this and proving all this, that you're this and you're that. And y'all are exhausted behind closed doors. Taking cute pictures at brunch and you having breakdowns in real life. Be careful of the movements they want to put your face on and they want to move so much. See, y'all get tricked every time by the okie doke. Every time. We allow ourselves to be the gimmick. Because we got to be the one. And I just don't know why. For the life of me, I just don't know why. When you push yourself through physical and emotional exhaustion because you think rest is a luxury, this exhaustion leads to missed opportunities. It limits your magnetism, and it puts you in position to choose things that you would not choose if you were well and if you were rooted within self. The decisions you make when you're exhausted, when you're tired, when you're looking for validation, when you're overworking trying to prove yourself, you harm yourself. The fourth thing that this woman is doing, why she keeps staying in survival mode, she always trying to prove her worth. Why do y'all even answer questions about what you bring to the table? Why do you feel when somebody says that something about you, why do you feel the need to just automatically correct them to prove that you're not that? When somebody says to you, oh, you don't love me, you just gonna leave me like everybody else, why do you need to prove that you the person that's gonna stay and get beat the hell up? Or whatever else is going on because that person has ran everybody else away. Why do you take it as a challenge to prove yourself when somebody is using reverse psychology playing on your top? Somebody not calling you, you taking the challenge to call them 50 million times to prove and put them on your mind. Why? People having a conversation, sitting around, and you feel like you got to be the one to stand up and correct everybody because you the one with the knowledge. Why? Why? Somebody says something that's not correct, and they might be doing it just to get you to tell the truth. See, y'all don't even understand how people be playing tricks on y'all. Some people will purposely say things that are incorrect so that you can correct them and tell them what they want to know about you. See, y'all think y'all so smart, y'all dumb. Because you talk too much. You got to prove. You got to prove how amazing you are. You got to prove this. You're out here auditioning for roles to be in people's lives that ain't finna pick you. What are we doing? What are we doing? Living mediocre lives. That's what we're doing when we do that. Living in survival mode. That's what we're doing when we do that. That's what you're doing. That's what you're signing up for. So the women who are in the space of mediocrity and why they're suffering so much because they overwork even though they get no results. They hustle for validation. They ignore the signs when they're exhausted and they always trying to prove their worth. And which is always why they get the bottom of the barrel of the treatment when it comes down to men, when it comes down to business, when it comes down to corporations. People do not value you because you do not value yourself. You don't value yourself to do things differently. To do what is innately natural to you. Not what you have been, what's been ingrained. It don't even feel right for some of the stuff that women be out here doing. And you know it don't feel natural or correct to you for you to do. But you do it anyway. Why? Because somebody else said? How you going to let somebody tell you about you? And I'm going to do a video on this too. I'm going to do a video on how unconditional love is only for self and for children. And I'm going to break down the formula of why it is that. And animals and stuff as well. But human beings are very conditional. And you guys, a lot of y'all are expecting, and this is a lot of millennial women too, because we grew up in the Disney generation, so we think love is a feeling. Baby, wake it up. Wake it up. They lied to us again, beloved. Wake it up. We have this fairy tale in our mind when you need to understand that the majority of human beings are conditional beings. They are based on conditions. And what you are expecting, unconditional love from another individual, they cannot give you. And I'm going to break down the formula of why they can't give it to you. And it's real simple. Once you get it, hopefully you'll stop. And you'll start giving it to yourself. Because you understand why now. But that's for another time. But if you want to be the women who are thriving, or you want to be in a state where you are thriving and it's not going to cost you everything in 2025, I'm going to give you the 4 things that you can do. And that women like myself, women who work with me, women who are in a state of mastery, who are literally doing the work and manifesting things at a rapid rate, this is what we're doing. Okay? It's simple, but it's not easy. You choose. Life is chess, and queen is always your move. Don't ever forget that. Okay? So, you said hustling is living a part of me. Yes. Hustling is to hustle by definition means to swindle. To swindle means to steal. The hustle steals from you because it steals your time, energy, and attention, making you feel like you're actually getting money when you're getting something cheap. Because the reality is the higher level currency is your time, energy, and your attention. Because if you took that same time, energy, and attention and actually put it where it needed to go, you would advance your life massively. You could be able to truly quantum jump. But because you choose to hustle, the hustle hustles you, and it steals from you. So it steals your time, it steals your energy, it steals your attention, and it pays you cheaply. So, yep. Definitely survival mode, beloved. Now that we know what the problem is and how all of those things lead to burnout culture, okay? Because that's basically what that is. Let me move this real quick. There we go. Okay. So now that we understand that all of that leads to burnout culture, let's talk about what positions you for magnetism, for manifesting. Save that question for me, sweet lady, towards the end, because I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then I'm going to break down that question because I'm glad that you actually said that. Okay. We're going to talk about feminine magnetism in that space and how they manifest and how are they able to be in this state. What are they actually doing? So the first thing that these women actually are doing is that these women are tapping into their emotional energy. Okay. Like I told you before, one of my modalities is that I'm an energetic psychology practitioner. So I understand energetics on the cellular level, emotions on the cellular level, and what it does to the body. when I'm saying that feminine women tap into their emotional energy, these women are led from a space of understanding that they can take frustration and use it as a signal to recalibrate and focus on what truly matters. And this is what leads to clarity and breakthroughs for them. For example, I'm going to tell you 3 ways that I've done this for myself. Number 1, when my best friend passed away, that was my spiritual awakening. Okay? So when my best friend passed away, that was my spiritual awakening. So the first thing that ended up happening was I transmuted. I was in a lot of pain. That was my business partner. I truly believe that she was a soulmate of mine. We were extremely, extremely close. Almost same first name, almost same middle name. Like that type of close. And so when I lost her, I was in one of the darkest places of my life. I did not really want to live, but I wasn't going to unallow myself because I had too much pride for that. Because I've always been the strong one. I've always been, and I talk about this more in the book. I was always the independent one. I was always the one with the solution. So there was no such thing as me breaking down. Well, I was broke down. So when you get to the state of having a breakdown, people don't realize that that's actually not a breakdown. It's a crossroad. It's an initiation. Okay? I want you to start looking at all of your crises in your life as an initiation. When you are at the bottom, you have a choice to make. You are either going to make a decision to transmute that energy of pain up, or you're going to sit in that pain. People who tend to sit in that pain, this is how you see hard drug addicts, like, are doing like hard drugs and different things. They get stuck in that space and they don't want to leave that space, see that person's face. They just kind of get very stuck there at that moment, at that incident. And I'm pretty sure we've seen someone like that, or we may know someone like that, right? That's because when they were going through that initiation, which appeared to be a breakdown, which appeared to be a crisis, they chose to stay. People choose to stay sometimes for different reasons. Sometimes they're afraid. Sometimes you're afraid of what they're going to lose. All of these different things. But you have to decide what you're going to do. For me, I didn't want to die there. I'm going to just be honest with you. Even though I was broke down and I was tore up, I didn't want to die in that space. So I made a decision to come up. So in me making a decision to come up, I chose to transmute that pain into progression. So what did I do? I wrote about it. I wrote about it in a grief book as a challenge to a mentor, Rest Her, who's no longer here. She hosted a 12-hour writing challenge to create an ebook on something that you knew very well and that you were passionate about. And I had understood and realized the pattern that people go through with grief. I had also recognized the emotions that I was going through and the different things that was happening through the state of grief. And I was realizing that it was a wilderness. Time does not heal all wounds. Time teaches you how to adjust to things. And so I began to pen these things out in this ebook. And I took 12 hours and I wrote for my life, right? And so I thought it was just going to be for me. And so I was instructed, no, you're going to actually put this out there. And I was like, say what? Because I don't really know about that. So I was obedient. On my birthday, December 8th, 2018, I uploaded it to my Facebook page, and I completely got off Facebook and went to sleep because I was scared. And I didn't really want to put that out there, but I woke up less than 24 hours and I had $1,000 in my PayPal account. And the first question I had to myself was, why am I at this job? Because I was working at the Department of Children's Services as a child protective service worker. I said, if I can make this in less than 24 hours, why am I at this job? Me being able to transmute that pain into progression put me in position and laid the foundation for me to be able to have the business I have right now. But I had to be obedient. And I had to allow myself to feel my feelings. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And I had to be willing to process it and not run from it and allow myself to be vulnerable. And all the things I used to run from because I was hyper independent. All the things that I was ashamed of because I didn't want people to see me as weak. All of those things that I was doing, it shifted. So when I say women who are in a space of mastery understand the power of tapping into their emotional energy. They understand the power of transmuting this energy into a high vibrational state, because when you're in a high vibrational state, like love, like peace, like joy, which are spiritual fruits, you create beautiful things in those atmospheres. Think about children that are created in love. Think about relationships that are created from a state of joy. Think about contracts that are created from a space of peace. When you are at a high vibrational state, which is why the spirit of the fruit is so important, you create wonderful things. But when you are in the low vibrational state, you have no choice but to destroy. Anger destroys your body, and then you eventually destroy other things and destroy other people. And when it talks about in John 10:10 that the enemies come to steal, kill, and destroy, the goal of society is to make you become your own enemy, so that you will steal your own joy by making decisions that go against who you truly are and your authentic nature as a woman. So that joy will slowly kill your confidence, and confidence, they know, is based on belief. So that means they're going to break your spirit. That's the whole idea, which causes you to self-destruct. So the enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy. The idea for society is to make you become your own enemy, so that you steal, kill, and destroy yourself. That's the matrix you're going to have to break out of. That's the matrix you're going to have to break from. You are a spirit being having a human experience, which is a biological experience and a psychological experience. You need balance in all three to thrive. That is what I teach. That is what my clients get from me. That is how they're able to thrive and make the money. That is how they're able to attract the type of partners that they want. That is how they're able to acquire generational wealth and true wealth. True wealth in the 5 pillars of understanding financial resources, emotional fulfillment, time freedom, healthy relationships, and purpose and growth. You're not building generational wealth if you're not pouring into all 5 of those buckets. You might have a life insurance policy for your baby, but you ain't building generational wealth for real. You ain't building it for real if you ain't pouring to all of them, because that's all of those 5 key things are necessary to set a lineage up right. So you ain't building generational wealth. Recognize that you're just leaving them money. Okay? So aligned women use frustration as a signal to recalibrate and focus on what truly matters, and this shift leads to clarity and breakthroughs. And I just gave an example of how that happened for me. Right? The second thing that women who are in a state of mastery do is that they use rest as a strategy. Okay? They use rest as a strategy. So many of us as women do not even feel comfortable sitting down. We feel like we need to do something. I have a friend, and I always have to tell her to sit down, because as soon as she sits down, she finds something in her house that she got to fix, she got to do. But that was a part of her training growing up. See, when she was growing up, she was told, oh, you sitting down too much, just lazy. Don't you got something to do? And so now she got into a space where she equated her value from what she does. And therefore, when you see your value in doing all the time, you don't see the value in resting. You don't see the value in sitting still. You don't see the value in Psalm 46:10, where it tells you to be still and know that I am the Most High. You don't understand the pricelessness and the peace of being able to rest. Okay? So feminine women like myself, women that I work with, we use rest as a strategy. Okay? Rest it's not indulgent. That's not that, okay? It's a wealth building tool. Intentional rest brings forth inspiration and magnetism. I want you to think about a time that you were thinking about something so much, and you were worried about it so much, but the minute you stopped thinking about it, the minute you stopped worrying about it, and you let some time pass and you went and did something else, you came back and you realized you either had the answer or the solution, because you rested. Feminine women, there's a principle that I teach my clients, and you will hear me say all the time. Feminine women should be able to release, receive, and reject. Okay? It's very, very important. Women who come and make comments like, oh, I can't smorgasm, right? If you can't release, it's because you can't release. So if you have a problem being vulnerable and releasing, then you have a problem with if you have a problem with releasing because you're not vulnerable enough to release in that manner, right? That means that you don't feel safe. So if you don't feel safe within yourself enough to release here, then you're not choosing people that you feel safe enough to abandon all of your guards and everything within you that is required so that you can release. The two are connected. If you lack the vulnerability to do this, you're going to lack the vulnerability to be able to have this. Feminine women should be able to release, receive, and reject. Okay? Very, very important. So we use rest as a strategy. We take breaks. We don't try to do everything. The Most High even tells you, my thing is, if the one that created everything took a break, like, why do you think you're exempt? And it tells you that you're created in the likeness and in the image of the one that created everything. So you don't think that you should have a break? You don't think that there should be rest? You don't think rest is not a gift to you? It's not a gift to you because you don't see the value in it, because you see the value in doing, because your identity is locked in what you do and not who you are. You're the black sheep of the family. You're the rebel of the family. You're the cycle breaker of the family. You have all these identification titles of who you are, but still not know who you are. Not trust yourself or love yourself enough to rest, to just sit for a second. Okay? The third thing that women who are in a state of mastery do, of how they're able to like magnetize amazing things to them or manifest these amazing things really quick or quantum jump into different realities for themselves, is that these women work with their cycles. As a woman, you need to understand that cycles are a part of life, and you need to understand that you run on a cycle. And a lot of women who have womb issues, and this is coming from a woman who had womb issues for 21 years, I had an irregular cycle. Okay? Women who normally have womb issues are normally the women who work against their energy cycles. So I'll just be very transparent when it comes down to myself. I told you guys I used to be almost 100 pounds heavier. I had a lot of polycystic ovarian syndromes. I was growing hair from everywhere and my body was changing. I was working against my body's design because I was hustling. So the hustling was stealing my feminine energy. And I started working so much like a man that my body started responding and building up testosterone so much so like a man. You need to start paying attention. When you work against your energy cycles, the body begins to defend itself against what the attack that you've allowed to come into the space. So you are overworking your body, and your body is trying to defend itself. It's trying to preserve itself. So it's doing everything it can to try to keep you alive, even if it means changing and adjusting to what you're doing, to what you're outlining. Ooh, I got fibroids after I met a guy, and I healed after he left. Baby, don't get me started on relationships and how they hit on the womb. Yes, ma'am. You better know. I had some gut issues when I was in a relationship, and I left and I was healed. See, y'all don't realize these folks be symphoners of your energy and your energy cycles, and they make you sick, and you begging to stay with them. Child. Listen, you have 4 phases in your menstrual cycle. Okay? Menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and luteal, baby. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You need to learn how to work within those. I have courses that will teach you. I have a master class that's coming up on the 11th where I'm going to teach you how to use your cycle to magnetize. Okay? The cycle formula has supported me in creating a 6-figure business from the ground up. It is the same formula that my former client uses, which is why she's almost at $1 million in her business. Other clients have used it to go from 5 figures to 6 figures. Other clients have used it to structure out their entire businesses. And they are able to make money from a space of ease, not from a space of exhaustion, because they understand the cycles of their body, the energy cycles. Corporate systems know your energy cycles as women. Why do you think they hire women? Why do they think they hire? Why do y'all think corporate hires a bunch of women but pays you less? You know why they do that? Besides them putting you under a spell? They do that because they know you don't know your energy cycles. And they know your energy cycles. And they know if they deplete your energy cycles in a certain kind of way, you'll become very dependent. So they know the longer they can tax on your soul emotionally and mentally, the longer you're going to be in a Stockholm Syndrome relationship with this corporate company, and you're going to stick around because you're slick in love with your abuser, but you don't even really realize it. And so what's going to end up happening is that they're going to continue to tax on your soul to meet their goals because you don't understand your value or your worth or your energy cycle. So they use you. If you ever want to get something done, get a black woman in there. Ain't that what they say? And that melanin do a little something extra. See, they be knowing. They be knowing. You don't know. You don't know your value. They know their value, though. They know your value, but you don't know. Is that the same tactic that narcissists use? If we're narcissists, two things. Everyone has some level of narcissism. Okay? If you open your phone, you got a bunch of selfies in there. This is an element of narcissism. We're talking about narcissistic personality disorder. We're going into a level of narcissism where it is absorption, which means that that person will absorb every energy source that's near them until there is nothing left in them. They do not care. They're going to prioritize themselves, and they're going to drain you. Okay? So when it comes down to dealing with them, what you are dealing with is a spiritual parasite. Okay? And what you are dealing with is a man who understands and practices sorcery. He's basically a warlock. He knows how to trick you. I talked about this in my last meeting with my community, my private community, the Sacred Feminine League. We talked about this on Monday. And I broke down the comparisons between men who practice sorcery, which is basically dark magic, and warlocks that put that. Yeah, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. They put you under spell. They make you think you're crazy using gaslighting. But see, it's a little bit more than that. It's a little bit more than just gaslighting. But you don't understand. It's the charm and it's the other things that are being used underneath. Y'all just think women are the ones who do these things. No, 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 no. Men do it too, baby. They do it too. Okay? This is why I tell women, and it's so ridiculous to me when I see women online who are finally coming into the space of understanding their cycles. Y'all are coming out here giving men the blueprint to your cycles. Why are y'all doing that? Why are you telling a man when it's ovulation time? Why are you doing that? Why don't you know how to use that time properly if you're not creating a child? Why would you give a man your complete blueprint to how your body operates and works? He knows when you're up, when you're down. He knows when to use you. Y'all be making yourself pray, and it's crazy to me because y'all talk too much. Like, seriously. Okay? So, women like us work with our cycles. We work with the 4 phases of our cycles. We sync our energy, our actions towards our natural energy peaks, so that we could avoid burnout and boost productivity. Women who have come to work with me in the area with cycle syncing, my ROI, which is my return on investment with clients working with me, women report having a 40 to 60% boost in productivity after working with me, which is why they start making the money they make. And they actually are doing less work, but they're more productive because they understand their energy cycles. They understand the way that they work. They understand the way that they operate. Okay? So when you do this work, you boost productivity and you avoid burnout. So we work with our bodies. We don't work against them. We don't work on man's clock. We work on the lunar clock that we actually on. You actually have a connection to the moon that is really a real thing as a woman. There's so many things you really need to read in scripture to grasp some great understanding. It's a reason why back in the day in scripture, women when they were on their cycles, on the menstruating phase, they would have to be alone and be in solitude, because every single month you are releasing physically. You should be releasing spiritually. You're releasing mentally. You should be releasing emotionally. And y'all wonder why you're walking around with all this trauma, why you feel like you need to be in therapy for 20 years. All these things is because you keep carrying every month and carrying every month and carrying every month and carrying every month. You are not releasing. And what did I just say? A feminine woman should be able to release, receive, and reject. Okay? So we work with ourselves. We don't work against ourselves. So that's one way that we're able to manifest masterly. Okay? Number 4. The 4th thing that women who are in a state of mastery do, and how they're able to manifest and magnetize amazing things into their experience, is because they create space for magnetism. Okay? They create space for magnetism. What that looks like is I say no to things that do not serve me. And I create space for my God-given intuition and inspiration to flow through me. Okay? I'm going to say it again. I say no to things that do not serve me. And I create space for my God-given intuition and inspiration to flow through me. Let me be very clear. When you are on these apps and you have quite a bit of following, right? I have a YouTube channel and then I have this. You have quite a bit of following. People, societal systems want to capitalize off your influence. I understand the power of my influence and I understand the impact of my influence. So I will have companies and corporations reach out to me and say, hey, will you promote this product? Hey, will you promote this product? Hey, will you promote this product? We will give you this. You'll get this money. You'll do this. I don't promote anything that does not align with me. If it does not align with me, if it's not something that I'm truly using, if it's not something that I could confidently speak on that has really supported me, I will not sell it to you. I don't care how much money they offer me. That is not me. That is not going to be me. Because I have spiritual ethics and I have an honor code that I have to honor with the one that allowed me to be in this type of position. So because of that, I don't want to magnetize the wrong type of audience to me because I am trying to attract something under false pretenses. Let me tell you how dangerous that is. It's very dangerous to attract things under false pretenses because you can't keep it and you can't manage it. This is what happens to scammers. This is why you shouldn't be a scammer. Because you're always going to get found out because you cannot sustain whatever it is that you're doing. At some point, it's going to catch up with you. So I create space for magnetism. I create space to hear and get the digital downloads. I create space to be inspired. And I operate as the muse that I am, right? That's what I do. And things are magnetized to me. That's the way that works. If you want things to magnetize to you, let's just say you want to manifest a healthy relationship, right? Then being in a toxic situationship is not going to help you. If you won't release that, you can't. If you don't reject that, if you don't release that, you can't receive. If you don't reject that mindset, you will find yourself in a consistent loop of that. And you will not get the healthy relationship or whatever it is that you want because you won't let this go. If you want to make more money in your business, you need to let go of the idea that you have to hustle to make money. If you don't release the idea of that, if you don't reject the idea of that, you're not going to be in position to receive more money. You're not going to be in position to receive what it is that you want. And it is in our nature as women to receive, to be receptive. So if you're not receiving, that's a sign that you're not in alignment. Okay? And that's something that you really need to pay attention to. So those women who are in a state of mastery, like I said, we tap into our emotional energy. We know how to transmute. We use rest as a strategy. We work with our cycles instead of working against them, and we create space for magnetism because it's powerful. And that's really how we're able to manifest and magnetize. And you have to choose what type of woman you want to be. First thing I need you to do is realize which one are you? Are you the woman who's in a state of mediocrity? Are you overworking, even though you're still not getting no results? Are you hustling to be validated? Are you ignoring the signs that you're extremely tired? Are you trying to prove your worth? If you don't stop doing those things, you're going to lose everything. It's going to cost you everything in 2025. It's going to cost you everything in 2025. Okay? But if you want to be in a state of mastery, you are going to have to understand the power of tapping into your emotional energy, using rest as a strategy, working with your cycle, and creating space for magnetism. That is the way that you're going to be able to do this. Okay? So, I have two things for you. One, hold your question for me, baby. I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer it. Don't let me forget. One, you can click the link in my bio. If you're in a space and you know you're exhausted, you've been doing everything. If you're tired of being the strong one, if you're tired of carrying the weight of everyone else's needs while your own joy, peace, and fulfillment are literally on the sidelines, if you're tired of that experience for yourself, okay, then click the link in the bio and grab my book on Amazon called Retiring the Cape. It just dropped yesterday. The Radiant Path to Flourishing. It is literally a bold invitation for women to release the myths of strength that have kept you in cycles of burnout, overperformance, and self-sacrifice. Okay? This particular book is a transformative guide for amazing women who really want to break up and break free from survival mode. It's a is an opportunity for you to embrace life alignment, purpose, lasting abundance for real, and what that really looks like. And I have literally all the cheat codes. So all the wisdom that y'all been asking me for, y'all been asking me, do you have a book? Do you have a book? Do you have a book? Now I have a book. I put everything in there. I'm teaching you how to let go of the strong woman myth. I'm teaching you how to align with your feminine design. I'm teaching you how to build generational wealth. And I'm teaching you how to flourish in an extremely bold way. And you can click the link in the bio to be able to get that book. The book is $55. It's going to teach you how to design a life rooted in peace, joy, and authentic fulfillment. I'm showing you the scripture, science, and psychology behind how you're going to be able to do this in this step-by-step roadmap that's literally going to support you in reclaiming your energy, redefining your priorities, and living as a radiant, abundant woman that you truly are. So for y'all that did all that talking after election day, saying that you're going to sit down and you're not going to fix anyone else's problem, I have given you a blueprint guide on how you can do that. Because y'all will talk a good game. Y'all will talk about how y'all going to sit down, but you will still allow yourself to be emotionally invested in things. And what you don't understand is that whatever you give your attention to, your energy goes there and your time gets wasted there. So if you want to shift that, then click the link in the bio, grab a copy of the book. I am also having a masterclass. Now, let's talk about that masterclass. If you are wanting to magnetize and you're ready to magnetize, okay? If you're ready to magnetize and kind of just like reset your magnetism, the things that you've been attracting into your experience, you know it don't work for you. You know you hate it. You don't really like your life. You want it to shift. And you really want to start the process before 2025. Then you need to get in the Magnetism Reset Masterclass. That's happening on 12/11. There are two options for that class. You can get a ticket for $55 or you can get a ticket for $150. I will tell you the difference between both. Okay? In this masterclass, this is what you're going to get. You're going to learn how to use your cycle to anticipate your emotional highs and lows so you know how to stay in emotional control. Power. Okay. The second thing that you're going to learn is that you're going to discover simple techniques on how you can align your income generating activities with your most powerful phases of your cycle, money. Okay. The third thing is you're going to understand the exact steps it takes to transform your mood, your money, and your movement into tools of sustainable success. I am not a weight loss coach. I am not a weight loss coach. I am not a weight loss coach. But women have come to work with me and lost 40 pounds or more. I've told you that I have lost almost 100 pounds. So I've had several women, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, that have come to work with me. What you have to understand is that when you can get your mood, your money, and your movement together, money can't resist you in a lot of ways. Your magnetism is going to amplify. So in that class, you're going to understand what that looks like so you can start magnetizing wealth to your space. Now, this is the $150 option. If you get with the $55, you get access to the class and you get the PDF that comes with the class. If you get the $150 option, this is what you get. You get 30 days in my private community. I just told y'all we just had a session on Monday about the commonalities or the connection and correlation between narcissistic men and warlocks and how they use these tricks and these demonic things to get you in these spaces and how to be able to decipher. So that was the last session that we had, okay? In this private community, we meet every single Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have powerful discussions. I talk about the things that I will not talk about on here. So that good stuff, that breakdown happens in my private community. So we have those sessions every Monday. Every Friday, they get a video from me. So they get the mind Monday and they get the strategy on Friday so they can go ahead and they can implement the strategy. So you get the month of December, completely free when you get that $150 ticket. You get a copy of the replay. And most importantly, you get access to me. When you are in these sessions with me on Mondays, you get to ask me whatever it is. There's no such thing as a dumb question. The women in my community have been able to manifest a masterful things. If you just want the community, you have to inbox me, because now let me say this: the community by itself is $197. But what I'm doing is, if you get a ticket to the Magnetism Reset Masterclass for $150, you get entrance into not only the class, but you also get interest into that community as well. And in the community, you get access to all of the videos that we have had since we have started. Okay? So it is a very powerful community. It's about 15 or so of us in there. Those women are absolutely amazing. They're on fire and they are ready for 2024. We discuss spiritual sovereignty, energetic sovereignty, mindset mastery. You really get rooted and grounded in your feminine energy, in your feminine leadership, and your feminine authority in that community. So it's an extremely powerful community. If you want access, click the link in the bio. Click Magnetism Reset, the VIP one, to get the $150 ticket, where you get access to the community and you get the replay and you get the PDF. Or you can just simply get access to the class for $55 and you can come into the class, you get the PDF, and then also I have the option for you to get my book if you are ready to retire your cape and you need a step-by-step process on how you're going to do these specific things. Okay, so click the link in the bio so you can get access. Go ahead and ask away your questions. So yeah, ask away your questions. How do we do this while penny pinching? Okay, so I remember you asking that question. How do you do what while penny pinching? What was I speaking about specifically at the time? And everybody, drop your questions. I'm gonna try to answer as many questions as I can. I'm ready to go to a lunch with my mommy. She is taking me out early for my birthday. So yeah, so I gotta be done in a minute. So drop your questions. But tell me, what exactly are you speaking of in regard to while you're penny pinching? Okay. In Africa, if you just want the link to the community, DM me and I'll send you the link. But that was $197. It's a better deal for you to get the $150. But however you want to do it, it's totally fine with me. Transforming into your feminine design. How can we do this while still penny pinching? Thank you. The aligning with your feminine design is an internal experience. Is you get an external reward or an external result as of, as a result of you doing that. Okay? Thank you, my love. So that looks like you getting your soul in alignment. That looks like you making mental commitments to yourself. That looks like you honoring your emotional energy and knowing how to process it and knowing how to set boundaries. That looks like you knowing how to pick proper relationships and putting these things into place for practical usage. Thank you, my love. So that's what that looks like when it comes down to aligning with your feminine design. That doesn't necessarily require money. It requires access to things. Like, there are a multitude of resources and things that you can search as far as what does it take for you. Now, when it comes down to, and I have a course called How to Align with Your Feminine Design Using 4 Simple Steps. And that's a video course that I have for $247. It's the link in my bio. But that's what that teaches you in that. Okay? Is in $197. If you want to stay in the community past December, the community is transforming after December. I'm actually transitioning into something else a little bit larger. So it would be $197, and you would ask, if you wanted to continue going into it, then I would talk about what the transition is going to be for you. But you definitely would. I'm going to have community in 2025. So my strong recommendation is for you to get in right now. In the Sacred Feminine League community, so you can be prepared for what I'm doing later on, because I may not publicize what I'm going to be doing on this platform, but I tell my clients in my community what my next steps are, so they are prepared, so they can lock in. And I also let them know about the next steps and different things I'm hearing in business or worldwide that may be happening. So they even visions, things that I see, I tell my community. I don't say those things here, but I tell my community. So definitely it's worth it. If you want to come in to the community solely, is $197. You just you just DM me, and then I'm going to send you a link and you can go ahead and get in. Okay, yay. Okay, so I'm coming to these questions, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to find your bio so I can do the 150. When is the last day to get it? Actually today, because I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I didn't go live yesterday. So actually it is today. And the community is going to go back up to $197. Okay. How about women who mastered all of the aboves that have blocks with wealth? She couldn't have mastered all of the above and have blocks with wealth. And I'm just being really honest with you. There's no way that a woman could have mastered soul alignment. Could be a master in the area of soul alignment, a master of her mastered her mental commitments, honors her mental commitments, is a master of her emotions, and that puts practical things into place. There's no way that she would miss wealth. And I'm saying this as a woman who spent a bunch of years missing wealth, and a woman who did all of these things and who's trained hundreds of women on doing these things, and they have acquired wealth. There's no way possible. There's a disconnect somewhere, and my strong recommendation would be, if there's a disconnect in one of those areas, getting in community where you can figure out what that actually is, so that you can stop having that block. Okay? Does a master class cover transforming into your feminine design from survival mode? No. The master class covers how you can use your cycle, okay, in several different ways to elevate your life, your mood, your money, and your movement. So if you're looking for a health result, you want to magnetize and manifest better health, this is the class for you in 2025. If you want to make more money and magnetize more into your space, more clients, you're going to want to be in there for that class. And if you want to get in connection and get in alignment with your mood, okay, which you want to stop feeling like you're moody, because you're not moody. All right. QP Lizzie, send me a DM and I'll send you a special link, just because you told me that. If you tell me if you catch me and you tell me at times what's going on, asking, you shall receive. I'll send you a special link so you'll be able to get access to it. Okay? But make sure you DM me, because I'm going to forget. Don't you forget. I ain't going to forget if you DM me, but if you don't DM me, I'm going to forget. So for those who want that link, but just know that link is going to expire that Friday morning. So you might want to, probably that Friday before noon. What is that? You know, or that day, whatever. I can put a 72-hour limit on it. You should be able to go to my page and just send me a message. Let me see. Do you suggest that I take majority of your courses before booking a one-on-one? My strong recommendation, honestly, is for you to book a one-on-one. Because if you get me, I'll tell you, when you book a one-on-one with me, because the one-on-ones with me are $497, and you get them with client affirming afterpay. If I feel like there's something additional that you need that is under that cost that I feel like would additionally support you, I'm going to offer you one of my products in that session. And it's not going to be at additional pay. If you get the $497 session with me, you decide you want to get one of my higher level programs and you want to book that within 45 days, that $497 that you pay is going to go towards that balance of that higher that you get. So I always tell people, if you can get me, I can get you fresh, exactly like what's going on, what's this, what's that, and I give you the straight strategy, the pattern, and we can figure that all out. And then now it's just, let's monitor it for the next 30 days. I'm checking in with you. I'm making sure that you're good. I'm seeing what's working. And then we're meeting again at the end of the 30 to see, what has magnetized, what has manifested, what has worked. So my strong recommendation is always one-on-one. If you can get me one-on-one, that's always going to be your best bet. But I also understand price points, and that's which is why I have courses and other things for you to be able to access what it is that I have. But one-on-one gonna always get you through the door quick. Okay. Oh, thank you. We had a session, but we never checked in. Which session did you get? Did you get a $497 session, or did you get a $297 or $197? You got a $297, then which those I think I did earlier this year. Those didn't come with a check-in. Yes, to the self-care educator and strategist. That'll work. You're welcome. Any other questions? And congratulations to those. 297. Okay, yeah. So that was the ideas to income, probably. Ideas to income didn't come with a follow-up. The emotional mastery session comes with a follow-up because I'm giving a different level of strategy in those. So there's a monitoring period. I think ideas to income is me giving you directly. Well, when I was doing those, it gives you directly, like, this is how you can do this to be able to make money, or do XYZ, but the emotional mastery is a little bit different. We're going a little deeper than that. I'm trying to see what course would be the best for me while still in a 9 to 5, while still in survival mode. What's your goal? You bought 2 other products though. What did you buy? Did those come with one-on-ones? Oh no, you're welcome. What's your goal? Is your goal to leave your 9 to 5? For the one who was asking about survival mode. Because if your goal is to leave your 9 to 5, then you need to create a cushion. And if you need to create a cushion, then you probably need to look at, number one, if you don't know how to articulate your value. I just got the VIP ticket. Yep, you're going to get a link to the community probably in about 2 hours. No, the class, Speak Right. Oh, that's a class. That's a course. Speak Right teaches a course. What I am going to do for those who got Speak Right Teach, I'm going to do a check-in with y'all. But the check-in with y'all is going to be a group check-in. But that's going to be in January. I already had that planned out. Most definitely am I go some. Oh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Speak Right teaches just the articulation of value. There was no one-on-one with that one. But I am like I said, I am going to have a group check-in with y'all because I need y'all to... What's the plan, guys? You need to know the plan. So probably the first week in, I miss you more. And I remember because I'm following you. And I'm seeing you, girl, doing your thing with the fashion designer. I see you. I see you working out. I see you taking in and being for real and being serious. Don't think I don't see you. Because for the ones who have worked with me at some point, I'll be watching y'all. I'll be seeing y'all. And I see you, boo. I definitely see you. I definitely see you. What other questions do you guys have? What other questions? You are so welcome. You are so welcome. All right, y'all. Whatever questions or anything that you may have, am I going live tomorrow? I think I'm going live tomorrow. So I'm gonna go live tomorrow too. I don't know what time yet. The Lord said the same. But thank you all for those who have invested. I will be having the class that I'm talking about with them in January is for those who purchase Speak Right Teach. That one's gonna be an invite only class. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a masterclass in January, and if so, what that's going to look like. But as of right now, thank you, my love. Okay, I got you. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm not sure as of right now. But right now, my last class is gonna be in December. Is after this masterclass, I'm hosting another class for those who purchased the manifestation class in the beginning of the year. So I'm doing a check-in. Okay? You're so welcome. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing Thursday. Okay? I really, really do. Yes, come on, VIP. Come on in. It's an exciting time. So, y'all, and when you come into the community, like I said, you can catch all those videos. And y'all, that video from Monday, that was it. Okay? So, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. My birthday is actually on Sunday. Y'all, I got this cute black dress. I think I might do a video and put it on TikTok because I'll never be showing myself personally sometimes. But yes, I have this gorgeous black dress that I'm going to be wearing. I have 2 things I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I'm so excited. Girl, come on and manifest it. I had a client named Erin who actually manifested she started manifesting one of my, she told me, she said, I want to manifest one of your courses. And at the time it was the alignment bundle. I think it was like 2 years ago. And she said, I got a check in the mail for $223. She bought my course. She got some results from that. And she was like, I'm going to manifest to get some more courses. And she did that. And she got them. Thank you, my love. And then she manifested her way into my 4-figure program, where she learned how to become a digital nomad. Oh, yeah, I'm a digital nomad, too. I get to live and work from anywhere in the world. So I teach that, too, for those who want to know more about that. But, all right, y'all. Super excited. Congratulations to the amazing women who are going to be in the room on the 11th. Congratulations to the amazing women who are retiring their capes. And thank y'all. Because let me tell y'all what I really want for my birthday is to be a best-selling author. So if you know a woman who's claiming that she want to sit down and you want to give me a birthday gift, buy her one of those books. buy her one of those books. Because what I want is for women to be set free. Okay? I want women to really build generational wealth. I want women healthy, happy, and have joy. Okay? All right. So I will talk to y'all later. Let me go get up with my mommy. Okay, bye y'all. Peace.